Hi there, it's Simon from Composing Academy. Today I'm going to show you a really useful feature in Cubase called the Arranger track. This feature is tucked away within Cubase, and its main function is to help you try out different structures and arrangements of your music quickly and easily, without having to spend time copying and pasting various parts together. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more music theory and composing tips and tricks. The Arranger track is a tool that we can use to reorder specific sections of our song and to try out different arrangements in order to make the best possible piece. Instead of the playback cursor going normally from left to right, we can use the Arranger track to jump between different sections and to change the order. There are a couple of ways in which we can add the Arranger track. One is to right click in the track listing area here, and then selecting Add Arranger Track. The second way is to click the Add Tracks button at the top here, and then navigate down to Arranger Track, and then Add Track. Okay, so I'm just going to click and drag this and move this to the top for better organization. For the Arranger track to become active, we need to make sure this button here, Activate Arranger Mode, is turned on. Now we have the Arranger track active, we need to define the various sections of our piece. So using Alt on Windows or Option on Mac, I'm going to click and drag so this region lasts for 8 bars. And you'll see there that Cubase has automatically named this A. And also to the left hand side here, you can see that it has created an Arranger event, block A. I'm now going to create a new block for every 8 bars of this piece. So you can see here Cubase has labelled these events A, B, C, D and E, and these all show up in the left hand side down here. I'm now going to name each of these events so that we can identify them as something a bit more meaningful for this track. To do that, we want to click on each block, and up on the left hand side here I can double click and change the name. For this first event I'm going to call it Intro. The second I'm going to call Verse. The third I'm going to call Chorus. The fourth, Chorus 2. And the fifth, Outro. So as previously mentioned, we now have our 5 Arranger events on the left hand side of the inspector here. And we can use this block to start changing the order of our piece. So to do that, I'm going to take a section such as the verse and double click. And you can see what this has done now is created the verse at the beginning of this Arranger chain. Now I'd like to see how it works having chorus 2 come straight after the verse. So again I go down here and double click, and you can see that this has been added to the Arranger chain. With this green triangle highlighted, this tells us where we want Cubase to start from. So let me press play and you'll see that the cursor will jump from the end of the verse at bar 17 straight to bar 25, which is the beginning of chorus 2. So let's experiment further, adding more sections to our Arranger chain. I'm going to go for the introduction after the chorus 2, and then I think we'll try the first chorus, and then finally the outro. So I want Cubase to play from the verse again, so I'm going to click this green triangle, so it's highlighted, and you can see that the cursor has now jumped again back to bar 9. So let's play through the whole of this arranger chain. We can also change the number of times Cubase plays each section by changing the number to the side of each section. So for example, if I want to hear the verse twice, I double click here and type in 2. We would now hear this verse play twice when pressing play in Cubase. As well as changing the structure within the inspector here, we can also go into slightly more advanced dialog by clicking this E button, which is Open Arranger Editor. This essentially performs the same function which we have over on the inspector here, but we have the addition of a few more points of information, including how long each section lasts, and also how long the song is at each respective section. For now, I'm going to close this, and we're going to go back to the inspector here. By clicking this down arrow, we have a few options that we can explore. The first is Rename Chain, and this enables us to change it to something a bit more meaningful. Let me type Variation 1. We also have the option to create a new chain, so this would be if we want to explore a new arrangement. And we can also duplicate the existing chain, and we can do that when we like the existing sequence we've made but want to tweak the odd element. We also have an option called Flatten Chain. The Flatten Chain function is a useful way to tell Cubase that we want to keep this arrangement and commit that song structure to the project window. We could go about this by copying and pasting the various elements into our new order to reflect what we've created over here. But with the press of a button, Cubase will do this automatically for us. So watch what happens in the project window when I click Flatten Chain. Cubase has now created our new arrangement based on the chain that we already had. So the arranger track is a great way to explore different arrangements and is a great time saver when experimenting with your tracks.